Good morning, it's September 4th, and this is To My Little Friends. Well, yesterday I said that Democrats don't have any real policy issues to run on, and they seem to lack ideas that would resonate with voters. I stand by that statement because Democrats seem to be on the wrong side of issues that voters care about. All they have is their absolute hatred of Donald Trump, and that's not a winning ticket. President Trump remains divisive. While his job approval and favorability ratings are higher than they were 8 years ago, they do remain low. And according to Real Politics average, August 28th of national polling, Trump's approval rating is 45.3%, 51.5% for negative, 6.2% net. And on August 28th, 2017, Trump sat at minus 16.9. So he's gaining. According to RCP's polling average of Trump's favorability, he's at 44.3 to 52.1, or minus 7.8. On August 2017, Trump was at minus 17.9. So while he's below underwater, he's above what he was in his first term. And Trump's 2024 victory was a landslide in swing states and states between the coast. However, I would point out that Trump's win in the popular vote, which was below 50%, and the electoral votes, 312 to 226, they're not really historic. Nor did he bring home large congressional majorities. Republicans controlled the Senate by 6 votes and the House by 5 votes. Did not approach past president majorities. And according to a Wall Street Journal poll, Democrats' popularity is a 35-year low. And that's no outlier. Other polls show similar results. Between 2020 and 2024, Republicans gained up to 4.5 million registered voters versus what Democrats gained. They saw net losses in all 30 states reviewed by the New York Times. And Trump's 2024 victory was attributable to an overwhelming win in what Democrats like to refer to as flyover country. The 46 states outside of California, New York, Massachusetts, and Washington contained 8.5% of America's electoral votes. Trump won 72% of them in 2024. The issues that the Biden-Harris ticket lost on last November are the same issues that Democrats are insistent about fighting Trump on now. The Democrats keep going back to the issues that Kamala campaigned on and lost. And they have deluded themselves into thinking they're right on the issues. It was merely a messaging issue. They just need to present their ideas better and the public would have joined with them. The Third Way Signal Project is the best example of what ails Democrats. The key issues to Democrats were shuttering USAID, using government power to attack political opponents, and firing civil service workers. These were illegal or unconstitutional in their eyes. But what the project found was none of these issues resonated with voters. And yet leading Democrats seem to think that if only they had spent another $50 million to identify the right messages to working class voters, they would have won. They're deluding themselves. And yet they still have not learned. They call the one big beautiful bill the one big ugly bill. And somehow that's supposed to make voters stand up and rebel against Trump and Republicans. On illegal immigration, the Real Clear Politics average of national polling showed that Biden's last job approval rating was at 33.5%. Yet Democrats continue to challenge Trump at every juncture. They've tried to make Kilmar Abrego Garcia into a martyr. They have stormed ICE detention facilities. They've tried to jeopardize ICE agents' safety by pushing to bar them from wearing masks. On crime, that same average of national polling showed Biden's last job approval was at 38%. Yet Democrats continue to challenge Trump in his push against crime. They've objected to him deploying the National Guard in Washington, D.C., despite Mayor Muriel Bowser saying it has reduced the city's crime. And they've threatened to take him to court if he tries to deploy the National Guard in crime-ridden Chicago. Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritzker try to pretend there's no real crime problem that they cannot themselves solve, yet the huge number of shootings, 8 of them fatalities in Chicago last weekend, begs the question. The same anti-Trump intransigence has led Democrats to take similarly extremist positions on allowing biological males to compete against biological females, something Americans overwhelmingly oppose. To lock arms against Trump's push to keep tax rates from rising to pre-2017 levels. Every Democrat in the House and Senate voted against that tax bill. And for many to object to a strike against terrorist backing Iran's nuclear facilities. They voted against the tax bill just passed, even though just about every Democrat wanted all but one of those tax brackets extended. Now, does that sound like a reasonable reason to vote against something that was based solely on how they felt about the current president? The Real Clear Politics average of national polling showed Biden's latest job approval rating in the economy, which would have been devastated by the tax hike had it occurred if Democrats had blocked the bill, was just 38.8%. The Real Clear Politics average showed Biden's last job approval rating on foreign policy, to which American support for Israel has been foundation for decades, was a mere 35.6%. Repeatedly, Democrats keep choosing the wrong side of issues and are so lopsided they cannot get out of each other's way. In doing this, they keep seeing their numbers diminish, and the margin between them and Trump, by association with Republicans, is maintained, if not increased. They do not offer any plausible alternatives to the voters other than they don't like Donald Trump. And if they can't find some real issues and policies and get on the right side of these major issues, they're going to keep on losing. It's been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening.